This is Court.
And this is Ashley, and we are coming at you live from Boston on a nice little drop day recording morning.
Feels like old times.
It does feel like old times.
So before we get into today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to apologize for my sick voice / maybe vocal fry that I have. Ladies and gentlemen, it's peak allergy season right now, and your girl is down bad. Like, Matt was telling me that, or we're at the point where I'll park my car overnight, I'll go to get in it next day, and it's a legit yellow from all the pollen.
Covered in pollen. That's like, you and I had dinner on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We had just gotten there, we put our phones down. Our phone screens are coated in yellow pollen.
And it's so hard because it's finally nice outside, so I want to be outside. I want all the windows open, all the things. And a couple days ago, I woke up and I was like, wow, this kind of blows. But we're on the come up, so appreciate you for bearing with this out.
The only time I've ever had allergies was a couple weeks ago when we got lilies.
Oh.
And the lilies in our apartment were making Joe and I just sneeze nonstop, and my nose got a little stuffy. But aside from that, I'm pretty good with allergies.
Blessed. I am blessed. I thought I was in the clear because it's June, and then all of a sudden I was like, whoa, maybe not.
Yeah, everything's just blooming.
Everything's blooming. Should we do a little catch up?
Yeah, I feel like we should do a little catch up, but I did want to just do a quick PSA that Starbucks now has a lavender cold foam. And for me personally, lavender is my favorite addition to a coffee. Lavender and vanilla, but lavender's more rare unless you're in some artsy area like Brooklyn, New York, or you're at Cafe Sauvage. It's kind of hard to come by, but Starbucks has been upping their cold foam. And honestly, I haven't had it since my birthday, but then before that, it'd been like 4 months. I was kind of off the Starbucks train.
Yeah. Well, I hate to break it to you, but lavender has been at Starbucks for like almost 4 months now.
Well, that goes to show
you haven't
have
been
not
there.
been
you
to
haven't
Starbucks.
been there. Yeah. So for anyone else who hasn't been to Starbucks in a while, there's lavender.
Oh, so everyone probably already knows.
Everyone knows this, yeah. But that's okay.
Well,
I'm happy.
My
I'm
day
so
was
happy.
made when I was on the
so
app
happy
this morning.
that you found it.
Yeah. Yeah, we had such a busy and fun-filled weekend.
Wednesday, we went to Pier 6 for drinks in Charlestown.
Love, love, love. If you live in Boston and you want just like a different night out.
Yeah.
I feel like we always forget about East Boston and Charlestown.
Totally.
Charlestown is probably up there with the South End for my favorite areas in Boston. But yeah, Pier 6 was amazing.
Yeah. Just really cute outdoor drinks. We went for one of our friends' birthdays. And then it was a very easy, convenient excuse to go to Prima for dinner afterwards.
Yes. Guys, this was my first time eating in the restaurant at Prima. I had only ever ordered takeout, which was actually the weekend prior.
Yeah. That was my second time, but I remember my first time going. I went to a dinner with my cousins that were in town, and as I was ordering off the menu and like eating my food that was getting delivered to the table, I was thinking to myself, I cannot wait to come back and like try more of the menu. And I don't remember the last time I felt that at a place in Boston.
No, because why is it so hard to find a good restaurant?
Yeah, no. I mean, you know what I think the issue is? All of them are like good. Like all of them, I've never really had terrible experiences at Boston restaurants. But I feel like when it's like similar caliber, it's hard for any of them to like really, really stand out.
Well, they're all just fine. But if I'm going to go out and spend, because everything's so expensive, a hefty amount on a dinner.
$222 to be exact.
$222. Like, I want it to blow my socks off. I don't want to feel like I could make something equal at home because I'm such a chef. So it's just hard.
Yeah. So Ash and I had a little gals day in Harvard Square. Why is it that we also forget about Harvard Square?
I don't know, because it's 10 minutes away.
It's 10 minutes away. It's like its own obvious little neighborhood, but it has like all the things. It has such good restaurants. It's got really cute shops. So we decided to spend a little day there. We went to a bar class at a place called Bar and Soul. Then we went to Origins, which is like a skincare brand, but they give not free. Ours was free.
No, they're free.
Oh, do they give them?
They literally had a sign out front that said free mini facials.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, go get a free mini facial. They'll basically just wash your face and use their products on you, and it's like super delicious. And then we went to Felipe's after that. The highlight.
I just have never been sick of Felipe's.
No.
They have the best burritos.
$7.
Such
In this economy?
Price.
In this economy, they've never raised their burrito price in the 7 years that we've been going there.
$7 for 7 years.
Yep.
Went up to the roof. It was a gorgeous day out. Ate our burritos.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to a Red Sox game. The first Sox game of the season.
Yep, just me and Ash. No men.
Yeah, it was such a little girl's day. It was so much fun. We had great seats. I actually got the seats last minute from my hometown UPS driver. We were just close growing up. I don't know. My mom did a lot of shopping, and he would always be at the house and be like, Gary, do you want a lemonade? Like, come have a lemonade. And we were just besties. Like, this man also like got me like a graduation card. Like, we were close.
Yeah.
In like a weird way.
Yep.
And so he calls into a lot of radio shows, and he just always wins these Red Sox tickets. But he doesn't live here. Like, currently he's off in Hawaii somewhere. He's like, hey, Ashley, checking in to see if you'd want to use these 2 Red Sox tickets.
Wait, he lives in Hawaii? Or
no, he's
just
there? Out there with his wife and daughter for like a couple weeks. He's retired now. He's just living the life.
I can't.
So I think my sister and I are the only ones he really knows in Boston.
Yeah.
Like that. So this is the 3rd time going from tickets that I got from my hometown UPS driver, Gary. Do we need to start doing that?
Yeah, no, because honestly, how many people listen to the radio still?
Probably not a lot.
I mean, I bet there's a certain generation, but like I couldn't tell you the last time I listened to the radio.
Guys, what if you can do both? I did a spin-off radio show. I kind of want to be on the radio.
I know, you've been saying that for a while.
I don't know. I just think it would be fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that was our day. Oh, at Fenway, we have a little hack for you, though. We got free hot dogs. So it's the 9th inning. It's closing up. We just figured out they went into an extra inning. We're like, all right, we could probably go, but let's just see if we can get a hot dog, and then we'll go.
Yeah.
We go out. Obviously, everything's closed down.
No, like we actually had like our hearts dropped into our stomach because all day we were talking about a Fenway Frank and how excited we were.
Yeah.
We even had like burritos beforehand. We're like, but regardless, we're still getting a Fenway Frank. Like
As
I was
we were
so
eating the burrito,
Yeah.
we were like, I can't wait for a Fenway Frank. Yeah.
Yeah. So the feeling that overcame when we stepped into the concession area and all we saw was like metal closed doors was truly heartbreaking.
Yep.
But we happened to find these, like, the second we, like, looked up, we found these, like, 3 or 4 workers that were hanging out. One of them just happened to be eating a Fenway Frank.
Yep.
So what does Ashley do?
I'm like, I see a hot dog, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, do you know anywhere that I can still get a hot dog? And he's like, oh, yeah, here, just take these. He walks over to his buddy, grabs 2 hot dogs, and goes, here you go. Which is... What? Of course, this makes so much sense. Think about the carriers that they have.
Yeah.
They're walking around trying to sell the hot dogs. Not all of them are going to be sold.
No.
So what are they going to do?
They're going to toss them out. Yeah.
So it was just the universe rewarding us. The cherry on top of a perfect day.
So shall we get into today's topic?
Yes.
Finally?
Yes, let's get into today's topic. I'm actually really excited about this one.
Me too. It's been a long time coming. And today we're going to be talking about hot girls having acne.
Yeah, all hot girls have acne. If they don't have it now, they've dealt with it.
Yeah, and if they've never had it, they likely will get it at another point in their lives, which is honestly so unfortunate.
It's the female journey, though.
It's the female journey.
Being a woman is so hard.
So hard. And let's maybe start with our own personal acne journeys.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. So I have dealt with hormonal acne my entire life since 7th, 8th grade. Pretty much as soon as I started getting my period, like, I had acne. I was put on birth control, like, freshman year of high school, not for birth control, but for my acne.
Yeah.
And I was on that, like, forever. And then ever since then, starting, like, sophomore year, I have been religiously seeing a dermatologist. I've tried everything under the sun. You name a medicine, I've 1000% been prescribed it.
Yep.
I went on Accutane in college, which was so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you can't drink with that. I obviously drank with that.
Yeah.
That was rough. And today I feel like I've found a way to manage my acne, but I definitely have scarring from back then, and it's been a healing journey. I have a regimen that works for me now, but I still, like yesterday, I woke up with 2 big-ass pimples on my chin. I'm like, really? Like, my period just ended. Like, it's not supposed to be coming. So it still happens, but, I mean, it's just a journey. And it's crazy how your skin can change so much, too.
Yeah, very wild.
So it's something that's been very familiar to me. Acne is not a new friend.
No.
What about you?
Mine, I feel like I was a little late to the acne game. Like, I don't know why, but I have this vague memory of, like, in 3rd grade, I had blackheads on my nose. And my mom was, like, brought me to the dermatologist because she was just, like, confused because she felt like that was a little young. But it was nothing, like, alarming. And it was just, I think, the type of skin that I had then. Wasn't anything crazy. Throughout middle school and high school, maybe a pimple here and there. But once again, nothing that I felt like I was really dealing with at large. College, I would get compliments on my skin all the time. And no joke, my skin regimen was literally using a Neutrogena makeup wipe. And it was just, I didn't realize how good I had it, to be honest.
Oh my God.
Like, I specifically remember Gabby Sula watching me, like, put makeup on. She's like, Court, like, your skin is so nice. Like, what do you do? Didn't moisturize. Like, literally didn't do anything at all. In hindsight, I should have been doing things preventatively. But whatever, I didn't. Didn't feel the need to. And then I finally started to get real acne in 2020. And I always think about this because that's when I started implementing a skincare routine, because there was so much less going on and you were in your self-care era. And so I just find that ironic that as I started to take care of my skin, it hated it. And then, of course, everyone had maskne. And so I attributed my acne, because it was along my jawline and in those hormonal trouble zones, to wearing masks. And then it just never went away. Like, I still very much have the same trouble areas on my face, around the jawline, cheeks, chin. And it's just so crazy that in your 20s, and I guess in your 30s too, like, people can go like a whole life without having acne, but then as your hormones start to change at whatever point in your life, like, you'll start to develop it then. Which is so unfortunate, because I feel like when you're going through, like, puberty and stuff, like, it's expected, like, everyone kind of has it.
Okay, yes and no, because in the moment, like, when you have acne and then I look around and I see a friend who uses just a Neutrogena wipe on her face and she doesn't have a pimple. Yeah. It's like, it's like, why me?
Yeah, it's defeating.
And that's almost when you care so much about, like, what everybody thinks, and it's like, oh my God, I'm going out, I'm meeting new people, and, like, I have a big zit on my face. Like, what are they going to think of me?
Yeah. No, that's true.
But I agree, having acne after not experiencing it is like, I can only imagine how frustrating that is. Yeah. I want to circle back really quick. Why is the beauty industry and skincare industry kind of a scam?
No, it is. 100%.
Because Joe doesn't do anything. He doesn't even wash his face. Yeah. He has perfect skin. I'll do, like, a skincare night with him and have him put products. He'll get a pimple.
Oh, wait. I was just going to say the same thing about Matt.
So it's like, you said you didn't have it until you started doing it. Why do I actually think that could be a root cause?
No, it's true. Matt has this theory whenever I'm complaining or, like, I'm having a bad week with my skin. He'll be like, Court, you work from home. Stop wearing makeup. Matt has this theory that the brands literally create acne so that you have to buy more of the product to cover it up.
That's fair. I'm with Matt, actually. Like, if I have to go into the office a lot, or if I have a lot of plans and I have to put makeup on every day, my skin gets worse. Yeah. So that's why whenever I'm working from home, like, I don't have a single drop of makeup on. I never have makeup on unless I'm going to the office or if I'm going to a dinner that I have to put makeup on. Yeah. But the amount, if I can go without makeup, I'm 1000% going without makeup.
Yeah.
Even like dinners at the lake, like I'm in New Hampshire. That's a free zone. I don't feel I need anything. So I feel like you should give it a test. It's at least worked for me.
Yeah.
And I think what we're going to get into in this episode is everything we've tried. Here's what we learned. And I think the theme that you'll notice is you just have to give everything a try.
Yeah.
And give it a fair shot, because you never know what will work for one person will not work for the other, and vice versa.
Yeah. And I think why we wanted to talk about this so badly is because, like Ashley kind of just said, like we have done so many things, and I feel like sometimes acne and struggling with your own journey feels super isolating, because when you go out and you're with friends, they're wearing makeup. So like you don't really know that they're struggling with similar things. But just having conversation or hearing other people talk about it, I feel like always makes me feel so much better about myself that I'm not alone. So hopefully this does that for you. So let's kick off with maybe some things that we've tried. And I know you said that you've tried literally everything.
I've tried everything.
But let's clarify what everything means for people out there. So I have done, obviously tretinoin cream. I feel like is something that everyone kind of gets prescribed. It's like topical. Benzoyl peroxide, which is like a acne wash that's supposed to really get underneath the skin. Doxycycline, which is a pill that I guess you're only supposed to take for like no more than 3 months. It's like a gateway to spironolactone, which I also end up getting.
I don't know if it's that one or if it's minocycline. When I tell you I've been prescribed everything, but there's one of them that is an antibiotic, so it clears up my skin amazing, but you can't constantly be taking an antibiotic. But because it's like that, it's like when you take a medicine and you're supposed to be taking like your probiotic pills, because I would religiously get a yeast infection when my hormones changed. Every single time I would get my period, I'd get a yeast infection.
Stop.
So I was like, I cannot take this acne medicine even though it's working because it's fucking my body up.
Yeah, no. It's
which is even terrible. More frustrating. It's like, oh, you finally find something that works, but it's just simply not, like, give me the pimples. I don't want to deal with any other issues.
Yeah. The I cannot say these things. I was telling Ashley, I was in the car on my way over, and I was Google Translate, like, with the sound on, like, trying to figure out how to pronounce these words, because why is it so difficult? But how do you say that one? Spironolactone or whatever.
I think you got it. Spironolactone?
Spironolactone.
Sounds right. You guys know what we're talking about.
So that is it's a pill that everyone takes before they get prescribed Accutane. It's like, if this works, then it kind of does the same thing. But once again, this is something that is supposed to be treating a different type of issue in your body. I don't remember if it's like insulin or like something. And
blood pressure.
Blood pressure medication.
It was originally created to be a blood pressure medication, but it wasn't good at that.
Yeah.
And they found a side effect was it cleared up hormonal acne.
Yeah.
So now it's used as an acne.
But then it's like, what else is it doing to my body? Like, if it was meant for something else and it just happened to clear acne, so they are now using it to clear acne, like, what else is it doing?
That's the thing. I don't think it's good at it.
No, it's not. And also, I've been on it for like over 6 months, and I feel like it worked at the beginning and now it doesn't work. So I stopped taking it actually last week. And why is it that when you get prescribed something and it works, I'm so fearful of getting off of it and stripping it from my body, because I don't know how my body's going to react. Luckily, I haven't had any bad, like, nothing's really happened since I stopped taking it. But I'm just so happy to be off of like a religious medication. Mm-hmm. Okay, what things have you tried that I have not yet said? Because I feel like you've tried all those.
Genuinely, I don't even remember. I've tried everything. Like, I've done the minocycline, I've done the doxycycline, done the Accutane. Accutane made me depressed. Also, I'm pretty sure, remember when my hair got crazy?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's from Accutane.
Oh my gosh.
Because my hair's not like that anymore. Wait, and it's grown out. And before that, I mean, I've always had curly hair. Yeah, but it was different. Never like that. And I think it also affected that. People say it makes your nose smaller when you take Accutane. Accutane messes your body up. And it sucks because it works, but you have to get your blood drawn every month. If you know me, you know I'm terrified of needles. that was such a low point, and then it also like affects your mental health. A lot of the things worked at the time, and then similar to what you said, over time it just kind of stops working.
Yeah.
Or sometimes things will work and then they're like, all right, you're good. You can slowly wean yourself off of it. I wean myself off of it. My skin's good for like 8 months, almost a year. I won't have any issues. And then out of nowhere, I remember I was in the South End. I got a hydrofacial. My skin was looking so good. I was like, perfect. We're going to go plump the face up with a little facial. I haven't had pimples in forever, aside from maybe like the one that I can so deal with.
Yeah.
And then it totally destroyed my face. And then I had to go back to the dermatologist and get prescribed something else.
Yeah.
So I think my body's changing. So things work sometimes they don't work. The biggest win I found is going for your 6 month or annual checkup with your dermatologist and be like, hey, here's what's working, here's what's not.
I mean, I hate that this happened to you, but I love what you said about like, you'll have 9 months of clear skin and then all of a sudden something will happen and it feels like you're back to square one, which sucks, but it just speaks to how like cyclical and like how you just continually need to be like on top of things in order for you to somewhat control what your skin is doing. Yep. Well, I think that's a great segue into things that we've learned personally. One of my first learnings was so many things that doctors prescribe, like whether it be oral or topical, dries out your skin. And when certain dermatologists or estheticians have told me to like be careful with that, or like maybe do every other day with certain types of medications, I feel like it makes so much sense, but it was never shared with me early on that when your skin gets so dry, your oil glands are working in overtime to like try to rehydrate your skin, which then causes clogged pores. So it's almost a double-edged sword. It's like you can take these medications and what have you, but if you're not drinking a shit ton of water and you're not making sure that you're hydrating with like hyaluronic acid and a lot of like great moisturizers, then what you're taking is actually not going to work in your favor. And it took me a while to figure that out.
Yeah. As someone who I put nothing on my skin from like a baby and I just had chronically dry skin, I so support this. Like having all of these additional products, they really do dry out your skin, and you need to find a hydration, whether it's a serum or a lotion that works for you, that really hydrates your skin and doesn't cause you to break out. Yeah. But it's such a careful balance. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I've actually finally found some products that actually save my dry skin, so I can share those.
Perfect.
Off of the hydration thing, this is such a simple fix, but nobody takes it seriously. Drinking a crap ton of water drastically will change your face. Yeah. It clears things up. You don't realize how much dehydration affects you. Aside from your acne, just it will help you in every area. Yeah. So get your Yeti, get your Stanley, chug the water, and like set a goal. Court has her like water intake, like check boxes. Now I do that too, and it's kind of motivating. So that sometimes the small things do make a big difference. And then my biggest piece I've learned is you have to be patient and consistent. Yeah. So it's so frustrating. We've all been there when you're at a really bad point with your acne and you finally get like a new prescription and you're like, finally, okay, I just want this to work. Unfortunately, it's not an overnight success. No. It will never, acne will never be an overnight change. So you just have to put it away and say, okay, I'm doing everything I can right now, but you must be consistent with what you're doing or else your skin is all over the place. Yeah,
no, it's so true. Which leads me into my next point. You have to be so careful about the content that you consume, like on social media, and even like listening to this, like just knowing that everyone has their own experience, and like we're also living in a consumerist economy where people are pushing things left and right, and it's so easy for you to get advertised to like quick fix or overnight this, or like there's sometimes a point where you get so desperate that you'll try anything. And I really feel like less is more when it comes to fixing problems like this. And you have to be like very strategic with what you're using and when you're using it so that you can test if that one product actually works. And then also something on this topic is you're not ugly, you're just poor.
Yeah.
Which is so fucking true. Like these people that you see on social, influencers, what have you, like they get bi-weekly facials. Like they are getting treated by the best estheticians or like acne doctors. And
they still have acne.
Just
the photos you're seeing are airbrushed with the best makeup artists. Like, even with all of the imagine if they were an everyday person. Another lesson I've learned is just leave the pimple alone. Do not pick it. It will only make it worse. The amount of times I'm getting ready for a night and I have like a pimple on my face. I'm like, ooh, I feel like I could just squeeze it and like get it to be done with and then maybe, you know, cover it up rather than covering it with makeup and, you know, having it come to a head when I'm out. I'm like, let me just get this done now. Never has that ever worked out better.
And I've never learned my lesson.
And I still
pop my pimples.
Yeah. So just leave the pimple. Even if you're going out, I remember I went out a couple weeks ago and I just had this big ass pimple on my face. And I was like, honestly, I'm going to regret popping it. Let me just leave it. And I went out and you know what? I feel like people were looking at the pimple, but I was like, whatever. I don't even care. Like it's a pimple. Everybody has a pimple.
Totally.
I don't want this to turn into a scar.
Yeah.
So whatever. I feel like you just have to disassociate from your acne sometimes and be like, this pimple does not define me.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Like, it's fine.
And also, no one is looking at your skin and critiquing it the way that you are. So I always need to remind myself of that too. It's like they're more worried about what's on their skin and that what's maybe showing through their makeup versus, oh, Ashley has this huge pimple right now. Like, gross. Like, no one's actually thinking that.
No, if anything, they'll notice a pimple and then they're going to get distracted by their own thoughts about, oh my God, what are people thinking about me?
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to remember the pimple you had that one night.
Exactly.
Ever.
Exactly.
Now, if you want to pop your pimple, a dermatologist told me this like forever ago, and I actually did it last night. If you take 2 Q-tips instead of your grimy little hands and like apply pressure, it helps with scarring to reduce scarring.
Well, if you do have a pimple patches are like my best friend. Like I can.
Want to know something so funny?
What?
So my mom got me like pimple patches that I've had forever. I've never used a pimple patch. I put one on yesterday because I was just working from home. I was like, let me put them on. Joe, like 5 times throughout the day was like, what the fuck is on your face? You need to take that off. I'm like, it's a pimple patch, okay? I have a big event this weekend. We're going to the horse races and I don't want this pimple. Like, let me just try this. And he's like, Ashley, I can't look at it. Like, I need you to take it off.
Was it one of those like hot pink stars?
No,
like,
it was just like
a clear
skin color. Yeah, he could not deal with it.
Oh my God.
It was so funny.
Grow up, Joe.
I know. I'm like, why are you not supporting me?
Also, it definitely helps like the healing process and scarring whenever I put them on. But more than anything, it prevents me from picking at it. Mm-hmm. So, like, I am very pro pimple patch.
I actually feel like it kind of worked.
No, it really works.
Yeah.
2 quick ones. First one is, I mean, knowledge is power. Definitely, like, talk to as many experts as possible. And I already mentioned going to get like an educational facial has been super helpful because they've audited my like skin regimen and have helped me like understand what products shouldn't be used together and what have you. But I recently learned everyone uses salicylic acid. Everyone uses like these certain exfoliants, whatever. I just recently learned that, you know, BHA and AHA, those are 2 different types of liquid exfoliants that come in like a lot of products.
Okay, I've seen like that on a bottle.
Yeah, that like the ordinary, like pretty much everywhere has it. Like Paula's Choice, the Ordinary, like all of them. I just found out that BHA is more powerful than AHA, which to me, in my mind, they were the exact same thing. Where BHA gets underneath the skin. I feel like I've learned so much over the years that certain products sit on the skin versus get underneath it. BHA is one of those. I also learned that hyaluronic acid is really important to put on your skin before you put on any other serums or moisturizers. Like that's what preps your skin to absorb the products that you put on afterwards.
I don't think enough people educate themselves on what order
to
your
do
skincare is supposed to go in.
Yeah.
I didn't know that for the longest time. But
yeah. It's like you just put all these things on your face and you're like, all right, I think I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, but it makes such a difference.
It makes such a difference. So yeah, BHA over AHA if you have hormonal acne. And then secondly, I feel like this is, I don't know if it's just on my feed or if it's on everyone's feed, but for the past like 9 months, I've been getting crazy ads for this company called ClearStem. It was founded by this woman that had terrible acne who was put on birth control and all the medication to try to alleviate it, and it didn't work. And she ended up going to this acne specific like spa in California and had the best experience and healed her acne entirely. They created this company together that's focused on acne prone skin. And they have it's like a Google search on their website where you copy and paste the list of ingredients that are in your skincare and makeup products. And it tells you if there's acne or pore clogging ingredients that cause acne in the products that you're using. So one Sunday, I literally did an audit. I went on Sephora and I copy and pasted all the ingredient lists in. And I made a list of products that I was using that likely could have been clogging my pores. So that's been definitely a game changer. And then I've been they have these hormonal acne supplements that I've been on for over 2 months now. I know for a fact that's why my skin has been so much better, especially now that I stopped taking the spironolactone or whatever it's called. But highly recommend Munchin with Maddie, which is a friend of ours that we've had on the podcast before. She's been talking about it recently. And now I also use they have like a cell renewal serum with hyaluronic acid that's just supposed to help cell turnover on the skin. And it's also been absolutely game changing as well. So highly recommend that brand. They also have like one of those 90-day like return policies if it doesn't work for you. And I always feel like when companies have that, like they're so confident in their products it's going to work.
I agree.
So I found success in that. So maybe you will too.
I've never taken the time to go through my products and do the ingredients. The only caveat that I've heard about that is sometimes like there's just a tiny bit of an ingredient.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll be like, oh, pore clogging. Like I know the Rhode thing has it.
Yeah.
But it's because it's like shea butter for like the scent.
Exactly.
So I would encourage you to do that exercise. I feel like that's so important. But also don't like think twice about it. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't like throw away all of your products.
Yeah. Of course. Well, when you're putting in a list of 100 ingredients and one of them is like flagged, that's really not something to worry about. It's more so if there's like 5 ingredients.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm sure there's some that are like, oh my god,
like how? Like how is this safe? Like why?
Right.
How can
I
people
think that's
make
why I
this?
haven't done it. I'm scared.
No. Don't
I don't
want to
get rid of everything.
No. Don't be scared. But also, what I think is awesome in today's world is so many companies are now aware of acne and have infused makeup with skincare. So like there's niacinamide in my foundation and things like that. Who knows like how much that makes a difference, but it makes me feel better about wearing makeup.
The marketing's working.
Yeah. No, the problem is the marketing. Like always. It's just like, come on, be real with me. Don't sell me something.
Final section is like what we're using today. So I just have a couple things that I have found in the past 6 months or so. First one is, everyone I think has seen the brand Cetaphil. Cetaphil is what?
She goes, everyone I think has seen the brand Cetaphil. Yes, definitely.
Right. So in middle school, I went over to my best friend's house and her mom was like, sweetie, come here. I'm going to show you this cleanser. And I remember like putting it on my face and then it kind of like stripped my skin a little bit. And she's like, see how it's tight now? That means it's working. It gets all the oil off. And it just like stuck in my head for so long that it was so good. But for some reason, I think then I started breaking out from it or something. So I never used it again until recently. I was like, let me just pull this in again. My skin drastically improved. But on top of that, I cleanse my skin 2 to 3 times. If I
a day? Oh no, in one setting.
In one setting.
Yes.
Well, yeah. And in the day. I do it in the morning and at night. But when I'm actually washing my face, so especially when I have makeup on, I will wash my face 3 times all the way down my neck.
Yeah.
And ever since I started doing that, my acne has vanished. And I think you always hear, oh, double cleanse. But how many times are you actually double cleansing?
No, you know, it's disgusting. You and I, we've talked about this like when we've had slumbies or stayed in like the
When we
same
had
hotel.
sleepovers?
Yeah, stayed in the same hotel room. That's like such a girl coded thing. Like doing skincare together. Ashley would be like, I got this new product. You have to try it. Just so fun. But we'll take off all of our makeup. We'll double cleanse. And when we're drying our face with the white hotel face cloths, makeup will still be on the hotel towel. And you're like, what the heck? So important. I always go in with like a micellar water first, try to get everything off that way, and then I at least double or triple cleanse. Okay, things that have worked for me as well, because mine is definitely hormonal related. Just being really careful about what I'm consuming. Dairy is definitely a trigger for me. Everyone says caffeine is the trigger. However, I refuse to not drink coffee. Come on. If I have acne because of coffee, I don't care.
I choose the coffee.
I choose the coffee.
Yeah.
However, I'm careful with it not being the first thing I put in my body. I will chug a full glass of water, or I'll have a green juice, or I'll have a little bite of something, because I definitely believe that it spikes your cortisol levels if you have it first thing, which also causes acne. But then also like overly processed food. I eat relatively clean, but I will literally be eating, on a rare occasion, I'm like eating a bag of Lay's chips. Mm-hmm. I can feel pimples coming through my skin, and then the next morning I'll wake up with like disgusting like 2 pimples on my face.
No, and I love that you're saying this, because I think so many people will complain about the acne, whatever, but you need to be conscious about what you are putting into your body. Anything that is processed, you can guess it's not good for your skin.
Yeah.
Like if you try a week of just trying to eat whole foods, like things that are not processed, you are guaranteed to see a difference.
Totally.
The proof is in the pudding. Yeah. I mean, it's just not, I mean, I know it's hard to do, but even just consuming less of those things, it makes a difference. It totally does.
You know what sucks? You know how me and Matt have occasionally done juice cleanses?
Yeah.
So for 7 days, we'll have nothing but health juices. Every single time I do that and I flush my body out, my skin is stunning.
Glowing.
Mm-hmm. And the second I like get off of it, it'll maybe last a week. But then the second I just put like real substance into my body, shoots the shit. Like it's just back to square one.
Okay, other things that I'm doing right now. So as far as prescriptions go, I'm still taking my spironolactone. I do tretinoin at night, every night, literally just a pea-size amount, but you put it all over your face. Also, I feel like people are under the impression that you only put that on blemish areas. My dermatologist is like, no, you put it everywhere. Like it helps with anti-aging. It's like the #1 anti-aging thing, because you need a prescription for it. So I put that on everywhere. I've been using the Rhode cleansing like milk or whatever, and I just, as a dry skin girly, I feel like my skin just really loves it.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, so I wash my face, and then I wrote the name down. It's like sodium bicarbonate or something. I have no idea what it is. It comes in like a little bottle. It's prescribed. Not that it even matters what I have necessarily, but like I thought that was nice. I'm like, okay, instead of putting tretinoin on twice a day, like I have something that for night and I have something for the daytime. Also, a point on that is I felt like the morning one wasn't working for me for a while, so I just stopped using it. And then one day my acne was flaring up and I was like, let me just go back to the basics and do it all again. I did it consistently and my skin cleared up. So sometimes it's even the little things that you don't even think are working, but when you remove it from your routine, like you actually notice those things. So that's like what I'm on as far as prescription wise goes, and it's working well.
Love it.
Also, if I skip one singular day of my spironolactone, I get pimples in 2 days.
That's crazy.
So you must be consistent.
Yep. Well, that brings me to my next point, which is I already said it, but the Clear Stem hormonal acne supplements, I feel like have been a godsend. And then also, I feel like I wasn't washing my like makeup sponges, my makeup brushes. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's so easy to go weeks without doing that. Months without doing it. Because I also used to justify, I don't put makeup on my face if my face is not clean. So I always justify like, oh yeah, like that's okay. I switched maybe like 3 or so months ago to disposable makeup sponges. So I only use them maybe 2 or 3 times. They're like super small. I'm sure it doesn't apply my makeup as good as like a huge beauty blender, but I feel like it's been so helpful in making sure that like bacteria isn't making my acne even worse. So I get
1000%.
them on Amazon. They're like it's a huge thing. It comes with like 100 of them. They're kind of super tiny. It's almost like what you would see at Sephora if you were to like try your own makeup. Like they're kind of small, but I'd prefer not having like flawless airbrushed makeup on my skin over like using something clean every single time.
Such a good point. That's probably one of the biggest and quickest things that I notice when I wash my makeup brushes, which, by the way, right now I am so overdue. Every morning I go to use them and I'm like, God damn it, I need to clean these. When I clean them, the week after using it, my skin also drastically improves. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I usually just throw them all away and just buy new ones, because why is cleaning your makeup brushes so difficult?
It just is. It's just a process. So waiting for them to dry is what is annoying to me.
Yeah, but like it takes me so long to like get all of the makeup, probably because I wait 6 months in between. But yeah, I love that point. It's so good. On a similar note, I think we forget that we're supposed to be changing our pillowcases every couple days.
Yeah.
And that also makes a difference.
Yeah. And then my last point, things that have really worked, which is like a bitch in theory. Green juice in the morning. I found this like really simple recipe and I've been doing it almost every week, and I think it makes me feel good. And I was also inspired once I realized that my green juice cleanses literally detoxified everything and made my skin look so good, but it's simple. I don't have a fancy juicer. I literally just use, what are those bags called?
A cheesecloth.
Yeah, I use a regular blender and then a cheesecloth. The recipe is spinach, apple or pineapple, just some type of fruit to make it sweet, ginger, lemon, cucumber, celery, and it actually tastes really good. And I feel like that before my coffee in the morning really helps kind of like level set my system. So I highly recommend.
Do you remember when I made the green juice when I lived in the South End?
Yeah.
So I got that recipe from my neighbor at the lake, his girlfriend, who was like, I do this every single Sunday. I space it out into like little cups throughout the week, and it's the first thing I consume in the morning, and my skin is glowing. I only did it one time because it was a bitch to make. Like there's no way I could do that every week. It took me hours.
Mine takes me like 20 minutes.
Okay, maybe because like you're a professional now. But I remember doing it and I was like, wow, my skin is reacting. So
yeah.
So love that for you. If you ever want to make extra, like I'm here for it.
Perfect.
I'm available to consume.
Perfect. So to round this whole conversation out, be nice to yourself. I feel like if the way that you talk to yourself and the way that you view yourself manifest in your skin. So if you're really hard on yourself, you're likely not going to get better.
I just think whenever my skin is bad and I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh, my skin's looking really bad, it truly manifests itself in your skin.
Yeah.
So try to separate the two. You're doing everything you can. Be consistent. Give yourself grace. Just know that everybody deals with this. You are not alone. Mm-hmm. And so power through. It's just being a woman.
Yeah. Confidence is key. Your skin's going to ebb and flow. Lean into it. I feel like that's our motto for season 4. Yeah. Lean into it. Try things. Be consistent. And I don't know, lead with confidence, because no one's obsessing over your skin as much as you are.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And with that, I think that concludes today's episode.
Hot girls have acne.
Hot girls do have acne. You are a hot girl, even if you do have acne.
Yes.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please send it to a friend, rate us 5 stars, submit any feedback you may have.
We love you. Tune in next episode as well. And follow us on Instagram for the meantime.
Perfect. Talk to you next week.
Illy, bye.
Bye.